Hi guys, this is attempt number 3. I was balancing my Filofax on my laptop and it has twice decided to press buttons to stop filming. So all the filming attempts I've done in the last few minutes have been cancelled. So hopefully this one will actually work now I haven't got it balancing on the laptop. Okay, so this is my A5 Raspberry Chameleon and it is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to be using this one, well I am currently using this one to hold my journal. I don't know if you've seen in a previous video, I actually showed you my journal as it was back then. It was in an A5 Leuchtturm 1917 pink squared notebook. And while I loved having it in the notebook, I realised that it wouldn't have worked in the long term because with all the watercolouring which was warping the pages and all the sticking in of photos and things that I was doing, but if I'd have got to the point where I'd filled the whole notebook, it would have been about 5 centimetres thick, which would have completely destroyed the binding. So what I did was I dissected the notebook, I punched every page and I put it in here, which I really love. I absolutely love this binder. It has all the pockets I need to hold memorabilia and photos and that kind of thing to stick in my journal later, which is absolutely great because it keeps them in one place, it keeps them safe, stops them from collecting dust and getting lost and stuff, which is great. And being able to take pages out, decorate them and put them back in is absolutely great because especially with wet media like watercolour, if you think that one page is resting on more pages behind it, I don't want all the water to go through to those pages. Taking one page out, decorating it on my desk, waiting for it to dry and then putting it back in is a really logical way of doing it to stop it from damaging other pages, especially ones that you've already decorated with water-soluble, say, pens and things. If it gets wet, it would make those pens run, so your writing would be illegible. So it is logical to take the paper out. But I'm not quite sure I like it in an A5 Filofax because I'm seeing all these lovely lovely full-size Midori journals. For example, Courtney Brooks, who's the Little Ink. I love her videos, I love her journal, and I'm wondering if I could actually do it in there instead. So I'm not quite sure, but I'll show you what I've got so far. I have shown you a few of the pages in here before, so I'm not going to go over them in great detail. I'm just going to show you how I've sort of been doing it in the past few days, past couple of weeks, which was a continuation from September where I kind of stopped for a while. So here is the insides of the Leuchtturm notebook. Still got the if found please return type of page and the contents page. I haven't filled these in, but I like them being in here because they remind me of the original notebook. I've still got the front cover and the back cover, which I cut carefully along and punched and put in here because I love the idea of a bound notebook, but because I'm so used to being able to move pages around, I'm not able to really be comfortable with a bound notebook. But I love the idea of it, so I like putting the front cover in. I did that previously with the Plannerisms planner that I had. I love that idea because even though it's not a bound notebook anymore, it's still got the sort of idea of the bound notebook with the hard front cover. So I'll quickly go over what I've got in here. I'm still trying to find my style. These are two very contrasting styles. You've got the Hobonichi style on the left and you've got kind of more eclectic watercolour style on the right. I did prefer this style before, but I don't like it that much anymore. I'm still trying to find which style I like. That's more Hobonichi style as well. this couple of pages I started to really implement photos on here. Really that was because I had a big gap here, so I put a photo on it, even though it dated back a couple of months before this actual page. I don't mind putting out-of-date photos on the pages, that's fine. And now that I've started putting photos, I print them from my Pogo printer. I really like that, so you might see that most of my pages have a photo on them now. I tipped this one in because there wasn't enough room on the page. There was a very busy page, and I didn't like that one that much when I showed you it the first time, but now I do like it. I realised that I don't actually read what's on here that much, but I like looking at the colour and the style and just glancing at it. When I want to come back and read them in a couple of years' time, then I'll actually read them, but for now having a distracting background isn't really a concern for me. But this is my favourite style of page, I think, at the moment at least. It's got a bit of a frame, it's got a bit of detail up here, and there is some nice colour in the background, not too much like this one, and not too little. Ignoring that bit, there's too much white there for me. This is just enough colour for me, and I really do like it. Then there's these two pages. I like sticking things in, but I haven't really been doing that much. Now this page, I kind of had a break. That was September the 8th, that was September the 27th, so I wrote an interim thing down here, but I haven't been doing that. I haven't done that between when this finished at the end of September and this on the 10th of November, because I kind of forgot what happened. And I do want to journal because I have such a bad memory, and because months can go by, and in 10 years' time I kind of want to know what happened in my life. Months can go by and I kind of remember that important things happened, but if I don't write them down, I'm not going to remember them on the long term. Maybe I'll catch up with important things like my brother's graduation, but just for now I've got big gaps in here, but it's not too concerning. I guess I could just put a page in there somewhere to catch up. Anyway, I had a bad day at work on this day, so what I did, I wanted to get my feelings out. I wanted to get things down on paper, my frustrations just out of me. But I really hate having negativity. This is supposed to be a happy place. It's supposed to be a happy journal. So I really hated the idea of the negativity staying. So what I did was I wrote it in a yellow pen, which doesn't show up very well, especially if you've got yellow ceiling lights or yellow lamp lights, because the yellow lights will wash out the colour. You won't be able to see the text, which was fine for me because I didn't want to see the text. I wanted to know that I was getting it down on paper but not be able to see it again, and then I wanted to paint over it. So I just got my watercolours and I just scribbled over it with different colour watercolours, and then I wrote positive statements on here. So that was that, and then I decided I needed to put a photo on there because I did this page and I didn't put a photo on there, and I really do like putting at least one photo every page. So I tipped in a photo. Well, actually technically there are three. I used an app. This one printed out well, the other one didn't. It's really strange. It was really pale and washed out. I'm still experimenting with my journaling styles. I don't like this style. It's too busy. There's too much going on. The background I don't like. But it got me back into journaling, which was good because there was a big gap. There was like a month and a half's gap. Here's a page. I wrote that and then I thought I need to do some wash in the background because it's just too white. So I did some wash. Stuck a photo of my brother in. I like this page because I was playing around with the watercolour. I was kind of letting it trail off into a shape and stuff. Tilly, some writing, little picture. I'm not very good at drawing, you might be able to tell, of Chloe. She's a ninja cat. So that is her as a ninja with her white whiskers, but you can't really see them. They're in white gel pen, it doesn't really show up. And then this was another style. This was kind of Hobonichi-esque. I did a frame and then just tried to write in it, but I didn't really like it, so I did add some colour with the wash at the background. Stuck a photo of Bertie in because he had a haircut and he looked so handsome. Drew a picture of my new glasses, which is a really rubbish picture because the arm looks broken, but that's just because I can't draw. And then I found I happen to have a sticker that looks like my new glasses, but my new glasses are less round, more square. And I just carried on writing, and I tried to be a bit more decorative, so I drew a box around it and wrote Chloe's name in arrows. So as you can see, it's all a work in progress. I'm trying to find my style. It's kind of like an art journal, but it's not. My art journals are art, they aren't journals. This is more journal but with artistic style, so watercolour, a little bit of drawing, trying to be designy, even though I don't have a good designy brain. I'm still trying to find my style, but my quandary is that I don't know if I like it in here, because I love the size of the paper, but I think I could slim it down to full-size Midori page. But there's a lot of paper left to use. I mean, I've only used 14 sheets. That is going to take me at least a year to use up the rest. There are 249 pages in this whole journal. So, and I barely use one page for 2 days. So, it's going to take me a long time to get through, and I think the one thing about people like me who chop and change between planners and stuff is that we have a hard time committing to one type of medium. I love looking at people's Midori journals. I love like Courtney Brooks and that sort of thing. So I also love the idea that I could fill a book, one of those Midori 64-page notebooks in a month, and then archive it. And I don't have to keep looking at it, because I do like a separation between the old and the new. I like archiving and then bringing things out when I want to read them. But in a year and a half's time, when I finish this notebook, I'm not going to want to keep on flicking to this, you know, these first few pages every single time I open the book. So I don't know if I'm going to carry on doing this one or start a Midori one. I'm perfectly happy to start a Midori one, and I think I'll be happy using Midori, because at the moment I'm not using my Midoris. I want to find a purpose for them. I want to find a daily use for them, and they would be great to hold my journals, or, you know, one journal, one kind of list book, one kind of random book. I wouldn't do them in the traditional bound way with a staple bind. I would undo the staples so that I could take one page out at a time, decorate it and put it back in, just like I can take one of these pages out, decorate them and put them back in. So that would be fine. But then I don't know what I'd do with this, because if all the pages were used, I would just put this binder on the shelf and come back to it to just read through and be nostalgic every once in a while. But I've only used 14 pages, so it seems like a waste, and it seems really sad to just not use it. The paper would be fine, because I just put that in my A5 Filofax, or rather Vanderspec now. I've got Vanderspec, it's beautiful. Well, it's my second Vanderspec, A5. Absolutely beautiful. My first one's personal size. Anyway, so I'd happily just use this paper in my Vanderspec, but then I don't know what I'd do with those 14 pages that I've done. If my Midori were A5 size, or if these were Midori full size, I would just slip them into my Midori, but they're too big, so I don't know whether to keep them in my Vanderspec, but then I won't want to keep looking at them. I don't have an archive binder A5 Filofax. I don't have one with old old planner pages in there, because I haven't been using an A5 Vanderspec as a planner. So these will kind of become homeless, which I don't like that idea. I want a home for them, and I don't know what to do with them if I do move to an A5 Midori. I kind of don't want to even stop using... Sorry, I'm having no luck with this video. I pressed the space bar to stop my computer going into screensaver mode, and it decided to stop the video. Anyway, what I was saying was, I want to find where's a good place to store these. I don't know. Maybe I'll just, instead of throwing away my old A5 Filofax pages from my planner, maybe I'll archive them and archive these with them. I don't know. It's a difficult kind of decision, because I've never had something that I've wanted to keep as much as these. I kind of have the idea that I'll keep my old planner pages, but then I just sort of toss them in a pile to sort through, and then I just end up a year and a half later throwing them away, because really my life isn't that interesting. I'd much rather keep journal pages, because they do show my history, my life, but in a more happy, colourful, joyous way than my sort of work, do some washing, clean the bathroom, planner pages. These are much more what I want to remember of my life. But I don't know. The first thing is, would I be happier if I was journaling in a Midori? And if I decide yes, then I'll start that. If I decide no, I'll carry on this. But if I decide yes, I will journal in a Midori, the question is, what do I do with these pages? Where do I keep them? So I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's my random video about my journal. Yeah, thank you for watching. Don't really know what to say next, so I will let you carry on with the rest of your day. Thank you for watching, and I will try to do some more videos soon. I'm still using my webcam. I'm hoping to find my camera charger very soon, but thank you for watching.